You don't know what I've been through. Let me share my story with you. All the things that he brought me through. My stormy days and my rainy days. You don't know all the tears I've cried, the things I've kept bottled up inside, trying my best to be strong, waiting on God and holding on. You don't know. You don't know. You just don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Tell somebody you just don't know. Hey. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know. You don't know. Don't know. Don't know. All on it. Don't know. Let me tell you my testimony. I started singing at the age of 5. My mother put me on stage. I was so terrified. I didn't know then God had a plan for me. Singing all over the world, encouraging you to believe. But it's my story, and I'm gonna lie to you. I made some mistakes, and I'm not talking about one or two. But grace and mercy brought me through it. But that's enough about me. Let me minister to you. You had some heartache, you had some pain, you had some sunshine, and you had some rain. But through it all, you didn't give up. You kept on believing, kept on trusting in God. Don't know, you don't know it. You ought to tell somebody. You just don't know what I've been through. Just don't know. Thank you, Jesus.
So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know never ever let me go. So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know will never ever let me go. When my mama died, and then my daddy died, I never seen the look I seen in my grandma's eyes. She said, son, I'm tired. I said, I'm tired too. Lost my mama dead in the same year, so what I'm supposed to do? Oh, it's gonna be hard for me, it's gonna get hard for you. Granddaddy told me, son, I'm gonna live through you. Do all you gotta do, but be all you gotta be. You gotta be the one to take care of the family. My mama told me, son, I'm gonna die. They gave her 6 months, she only lived 5. But God got away from me, so don't you cry. So long as I live, I'm gonna shoot for the sky, yeah, yeah. So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know never ever let me go. So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know will never ever let me go. Now that my mama gone, I gotta be strong. I gotta live my life, cause life is still going on. Take care of my family, cause they depend on me. We gotta pray together, rebuild our family tree. Now we down 2, but it ain't over till you steady rolling. Let it run over. Sometimes I get high, but I gotta stay sober. I know my life ain't perfect, but I know it ain't over. My mama told me, son, I'm gonna die. They gave her 6 months, she only lived 5. But God got away from me, so don't you cry. So long as I live, I'm gonna shoot for the sky, yeah, yeah. So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know never ever let me go. So much pain in my soul, it's so hard to let go. But the God that I know will never ever let me go.
shining stars, beef too. Get a lot of haystack gang in the city.
Sun is rising, feel the warmth on my face. There's a lot to do now, but there ain't no race. I sip my coffee, I'm feeling fine. No need to work yet, I'm gonna take my time. It's a brand new day, gotta take it on my way, gotta take it on my way. It's a brand new day, gotta take it on my way, gotta take it on my way. Take a look out my window, see the birds in the trees. Their songs inspire me to sing a sweet melody. How do they do it? Not a care and so free. Wanna step into their world. Who holds the key? It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way. It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. What's today, y'all? I think it's Tuesday. Yup, Tuesday. How y'all doing? Shout out to you guys. I love you, sis. Love you, girl. Cause I hit the wrong button. But anywho, welcome to the live stream, y'all. Happy Tuesday. We are here. Um, yes, Ramlin. Thank you, Ramlin. Shout out to Mad TV. Shout out to the real Mad TV. Okay. Shout out to him for that intro. I will forever, ever, ever, ever be grateful for that and cherish it. Thank you, God, it's Pooh. um, hey, Miss Lynn. Hey, Young Riaz. Hey, Ramlin. Uh, hey, Miss Margie. Hey, it's a rap girl. Hey, Sonya. Hey, ask questions. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Y'all come on in. So, as I promised, we are now here on the Pain into Purpose channel. I thank y'all so much for joining me this morning. I do. I appreciate it. Y'all be sure to hit the like button on your way in. Take your shoes off, get comfy. The likes are actually excellent at this point. I appreciate that. I do. Yes, yours truly. Come on with it, girl. You better know it. I appreciate y'all hitting that like button. I do, and I also ask that you all please support the channel. Yes, God is. um, you said did you say the 12th? Let me see. Let me see what that is. All right, I'm gonna try my best. That's next week. All right, so listen, I came in on this channel because for those that don't know, okay, guys, I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to remember that. I gotta put that on my calendar. So listen, I didn't realize she was gonna be 22 though. It's been a lot of years, guys. Guys, you get old. Not me, but you. I didn't realize she was gonna be 22. Um, she would have been 22. But listen, y'all. So like I said yesterday on my Crime and Justice channel, and also on my T channel for those that missed it. I got a couple of challenges going on in my life at this point, as far as trying to move forward and things of that nature. Now, as far as my channels are concerned, I am challenging myself to put out content on all on all three of my channels. I spend most of the time over there on the T channel. Oh, okay, young Riaz, yes you will. I spend most of my time over there on the T channel, which is a non-monetized channel, which is okay for me because I do get supported on that channel. But in the midst of it all, I still have my Crime and Justice channel, which is monetized. It is monetized, and also I have this channel, which is not monetized yet, but I'm about to apply for monetization as soon as I get the watch hours up. So anybody with common sense will be focusing more on the channel that's monetized and the one that is almost monetized. So, but I've decided that I'm going to split my time between all three channels. I want to continue to put out content on all three channels. I'm very proud of my channels. Uh, when I look back on my channels, I've put in a lot of hard work on these channels, and that's one thing I can look back on. Even with all the bumps and the bruises when it comes to this whole YouTube experience, I have put in a lot of work. Hey, Miss Tia, good to see you, boo. Good to see you. Oh, hold on, y'all, cause oh, so yeah, so with that being said, my goal and what I plan to do, and I'm just repeating this. I said it yesterday, but I'm repeating it for the ones who may not have been in those live streams. Hey, Sessa, good to see you, boo. Um, I will be. My plan is to come on to my Crime and Justice channel on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings, and on this channel on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, as well as doing content on my T channel. So I am here today. I almost caught, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I almost didn't do it. I almost did not come on this channel this morning, but now that I'm here, I'm glad I did come. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Miss Marge. Thank you, girl. So, um, shout out to the True Silvers in the State gang. I do love and appreciate all of you all, and I do appreciate the little family that we got here in this network. I came on this channel today because I wanted to talk to you all about, because we have members of the family that really goes through on a daily basis as far as grieving. Now a lot we know about, some we know about. Hey Tamara, so good to see you. I was hoping you would drop in today. I was hoping you would drop in today. Y'all listen. Y'all continue to pray for Tamara, and also Cessa, and also Tanya. And I'm trying to. I don't want to miss anyone, and I'm naming people that I know that has recently dealt with um, some things. But y'all just continue to pray for each other. Truth, I need this channel, even though I'm still having. I know Miss Tia, and I need it too. I need it too, and that's why I am challenging myself um to do at least 2 days a week on this channel. I need to do that. And see, once I miss a day, miss 2 days, miss 3 days, it becomes easier and easier not to come on the channel because it's so hard to come on the channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that um I'm going to challenge myself to, and I'm going to pray to God heavily to keep it going. Hey, Miss Gloria, good to see you. Good to see you, Miss Gloria. You still doing good over there? I know it's raining, cats, dogs, and everything around your way. Lexi was telling me this morning how much it was still raining. Now, I do know you are on the other side of Flexi, but are y'all still getting rain as well? Um, oh, thank you, Cecil. Thank you, baby. I've been praying for you too as well. So listen, I wanted to talk to you all today about, and I'm gonna drop the link, right? Oh, okay, guys. Yep. So I'm gonna drop the link for anybody that wants to hit it. Um, it's a family room. Well, y'all continue to pray for E Brooks, and her family as well. See, this is when I go to calling names, I be forgetting people. I gotta start writing this stuff down. That's another thing I'm gonna challenge myself to start writing things down. But I'm gonna drop the link um for anybody that wants to hit it and come up and speak. But if not, I'm just gonna speak about no truth, not right today. Good, good, man, Gloria, good. All right, Tamara, just know we love you, sweetie, and know we thinking about you and praying for you. Okay, grab your VIP seat in the bushes, girl. Um, so I want to talk today about grief, and I know this. I know I focused on it a lot when I first came on the channel because I was just beginning my stages of grief when it came to, Tony and things of that nature. So I did. So I need you all to go back and replay some of those videos and lives I put up in the beginning of the journey, right? I need y'all to go back and it's also gonna help me get my watch time hours up. But I need y'all to go back. I did, Miss Margie. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I got to get back in the habit of doing things I used to do. I listen. I've stopped doing a lot of things I used to do, Miss Margie, but I'm trying slowly but surely to get back into getting back to me. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I do need y'all to go back and kind of refresh yourselves on that content I put out when I first started this journey, right? Hey, Fufu. And so, but today I'm going to talk about it again because um, the fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't realize and recognize that grief can really become too much for some people. Like, some people know how to work through it, some people know how to get through it, some people know how to just cope or whatever. But when it comes to grief, it's a lot of people that actually don't get through it. You get what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying, a lot of people end up ending their lives. A lot of people end up just passing away. Maybe not so much at their own hands, but um, let me just say what I'm trying to say so I can get it out. And we're gonna listen to a couple of videos. We're gonna listen to a couple of videos because I ain't gonna be able to do a whole lot of talking on this live. I ain't gonna lie, but I do want to say this. I had a conversation with Tony's sister-in-law, my sister-in-law, Tony's brother's wife. And for those that don't know, um, Tony's brother passed away a couple of weeks ago. 5 months and a day after Tony passed, his brother passed away, right? So I had a conversation with his wife, and I was asking her because I do know that he had health issues, not really, really like not as bad as Tony. He was a diabetic. He was a diabetic. He was an insulin dependent diabetic, but he didn't have all the issues that Tony had as far as health issues. He did not. He was ex-military. He was a fit guy. He worked out. He had the diabetes, which was for him pretty much hereditary, but the diabetes was under control and things of that nature, as long as he took his insulin and stuff like that. So I know that I had spoke to them not too long before it happened, and I didn't know of any, new health issues that he had or whatever. So when somebody passed and they pass from natural causes, of course, the first question people want to ask is what happened, like what happened, which I didn't have to ask. It was told to me. I didn't really have to ask because he passed away in his sleep. Right, he passed away in his sleep. So basically, she told me and other family members that the autopsy showed it was a heart attack, um, which kind of threw me for a loop because he's never had heart problems. I mean, he's never had heart problems, right? So we went on and we was talking and talking, and she said that you know what, I'm gonna be so honest with you. You know what I'm saying? She said I'm gonna be honest with you. She said, and I said, what you mean? She said he grieved himself to death. She said that's what I think it was. Cause I asked her, I said a heart attack. I was like, if anything, like with Tony, that wouldn't have been such a surprise because of his issues or whatever. But for him, because he was just fit, y'all, he was healthy or whatever. Other than like I said, the diabetes, but which diabetes it wears on your organs too as well. So it wasn't a big shock, but it was a shock for me. And she was like, well, I know that we kept a lot of stuff from the family or whatever, and I mean like stuff like what she was like. He's just he started drinking, which he was a social drinker, but he wasn't a drinker like that. Of course they party all the time, so of course he drank when family gatherers and holidays and stuff like that. But he wasn't like an everyday drinker, right? And she said that he started drinking every day, pretty much all day. And he had started back smoking because he was a smoker and he had stopped. And I didn't even know he had started back smoking. Now I do remember vaguely. I got to be so honest, and I told her this. I said I do remember vaguely. Um, the day of Turner's funeral, after the funeral and the repast and everything, we went to their house. I was at their house. Me, my mom, my sister, and all of us. We was at their house because the family met up there after the funeral. And I do remember us sitting. It was me and his wife was sitting outside on the patio, and we were smoking because they don't smoke in the house or whatever. And I remember him coming out there sitting and talking with us, and he was smoking a cigarette. But I didn't think too much about it because of what was going on. So it didn't like when I seen him smoking a cigarette, I said, "Oh, his nerves bad, or he's upset or whatever." And he was drinking, so even though I knew he had stopped smoking, it didn't shock me or surprise me or anything that he was smoking a cigarette, right? So she told me he had started back smoking, he had started back drinking, and he would just she would find him outside on the back and on the patio, just out there. She caught him, crying a couple of times or whatever. And he tried to do it to himself, but she would always it's just them two in their house. So if he would be in the house and just disappear, of course, if she noticed he wasn't around, she'll go looking for him. And a lot of times she found him outside on the patio. A couple of times she found him in his man cave, which um he had a man cave. In the man cave, for those that don't know, Tony was a Auburn fan, and James was a Alabama fan, which always, watching when college football time was always a riot with them two because they stayed going at it about these two rival teams, right? So his man cave was basically one side Auburn, one side Alabama. Because when we would watch the games and stuff, the Alabama, you know how families do. You got your family that supports Alabama, then you got your family that supports Auburn. So, but that room, I guess was his little um, room that he would go in to like grieve or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But she would always ask him, was he okay? She was always trying to comfort him when he was upset and things of that nature. She did it, but she just didn't know. She knew he was taking it hard, but she didn't know she didn't realize until maybe a couple of weeks before he passed how hard he was taking it because he would never verbalize it. Like she could see it, but he wouldn't necessarily verbalize it, right? So I just told y'all all that to tell y'all that basically she believes that he pretty much grieved himself to death, which to me honestly is so sad because now I told y'all they were best friends. Like Tony and his brother was best friends. You know what I'm saying? From the time I've met Tony, from all the years I've known him, his brother was his best friend. And I know it hit him hard. I know he took it hard when he passed. I was happy that he got to see him actually before he passed. Because for those that don't know, Tony was not in this state. He was not here at home when he passed. He was in another state. But James and his wife actually saw him in the hospital where he was before he passed. So, um, and I remember the conversations and stuff that they had when he was up at the hospital. They was just laughing and talking and laughing and talking. It was a mess. It was just like they were sitting up in that man cave talking. But anywho, I just wanted to talk to y'all about, grief and how a lot of times grief can and will take over. Like it will. And I've told y'all, like I've literally told y'all, like at some point in time, even I still deal with it now, but not as bad as 2 or 3 months ago. But grief will cause you to just basically in your mind give up. And when I say give up, and I don't mean just like outright taking your life, but you'll get to a point to where you don't feel like life is worth living, or you feel like you can't go on in life without the person that you lost, right? At that point, you have to you pretty much have to find a way to come out of that. Because if you don't, subconsciously, maybe you may not even be trying to do it. Subconsciously, you would begin to harm yourself, which, like, for instance, if you're on medications, like for me, for instance, I'm on medications that I know I need to take every day because of the stents I have in my heart and things I got going on in my heart. I know I have to take those medications every day. If not, my health is going to deteriorate. So sometimes people, when they're grieving, they'll stop taking medications, which she said she noticed that she had to, pretty much monitor him taking his insulin and stuff like he was supposed to. You'll stop taking your medications. You'll stop eating. You don't sleep, and you pretty much just slowly but surely just stop. You know what I'm saying? And you may not even realize or recognize it. It's just you living each and every day with that grief. You know what I'm saying? Ask questions, say yes, grief is an attack. You have to stay busy, surround yourself around family. It's easy to self destruct. Yeah. And so, um, truth hurts from 2019, 17. I was close to taking my life, but I still found it. Praise God, Riz. Good for you. And so, yeah, that grief will take over if you don't work past it and get, a lot of times people have to get help. And that's another thing that people don't realize and recognize that, sometimes grief, you have to get help with that. Remnant said, when I lost my dad, I had a lot of dangerously high sugar levels. Not on purpose. My ass was just said, yup, it happens. Uh, she said that she also told me that he basically had missed two doctor's appointments. He missed a doctor's appointment right after it happened, and then she rescheduled it, and he basically missed that one. It was like he didn't even want to go to the doctor. Hey, Mimi, good to see you, sweetie. She was saying, hey, Duchess. He was basically saying how he was missing doctor's appointments. Um, a lot of times his cousins and stuff and his uncles and stuff would call his phone. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to talk certain, just she says things that she think about now that it was signs that he was sort of kind of giving up, but she just didn't recognize them as such. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew he was grieving. She knew who he was taking Tony's death hard, but she just didn't realize and recognize that it was that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times you just have to get, especially when a person is not talking, they're not talking their way through the grief. You really, really have to think about getting that person a little help. You know what I'm saying? Because they're slowly slipping away, and that's basically what happened with James. That's basically what happened. So I wanted to talk today, and let me put up. We're gonna listen to a couple of videos because I can talk all day about the feelings of grief and how I feel grief and deal with it, but I wanted to play a couple of videos of professionals talking about how we should try to deal with grief. That's how I was when I started watching. Yeah, yeah, guys, I remember. I remember. But I just want y'all to know. I had to let you all know because I know so many of you all that's dealing with grief. And I know that grief will take over you. It will take over your mind, your body, your spirit. It will just take over. It's actually really hard to mm, it's really hard to keep going for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so yeah, I wanted to talk to you all. Hey, Raina. It's the same thing with Rashid. He won't go out. He stays in our black. He doesn't enjoy family events as much since he lost his cousin to gun violence. Oh, Raina. Raina, now I know you know about the whole mental health of it all. Does he talk to somebody? I mean, other than like you and his dad, does he is he talking to somebody? Because that's a lot. That's a lot. When my son passed, his one of his best friends, his mom told me she had to eventually take him for grief counseling. Yeah, because we think that teenagers and young adults and things of that nature handle stuff. They really don't. They really don't. And they are really the ones that actually shut down for real, for real. They will shut down. They will. So hopefully, he's talking to someone, Raina. That's the first thing I did was seek therapy. Yeah. You have to, man. Like you really have to and a lot of times when people be in it, they don't recognize that they're at that point to where they need help. That's why I like somebody said in the chat, I can't remember who it was, that says when you know someone is grieving, you have to check on them. Like you honestly have to check on them because they can be slowly slipping away and you don't even realize and recognize it till it's too late because they shut down. I know I do. You shut down. You don't want to talk and things of that nature. You don't want to talk. You don't want to do a lot of things, you know. And before anyone realizes or recognizes it, it's just too late. And I think that I had to pretty much tell her. I think she sort of kind of blames herself, which I understand. I do understand because she said she didn't think it was as serious as it was, which I went through the same thing when it came to Tony. Like I blame myself. I was thinking, what could I have done differently, or should I have been harder on him as far as his medications? But the thing about Tony was, uh, Tony has been sick in the past before, y'all know that, but Tony got better to just pass on. And I had to realize and recognize that happened with my granny as well. That I don't understand. I still don't understand. I've struggled with that. I pray about it to God every day to put some type of understanding on my heart as to why um he would allow he would allow someone to go through so much and then get better just to for the end. I still don't understand that to this day. I just don't. But like I said, I just continue to pray for peace and understanding when it comes to that because that's something I struggle with. It's something I struggle with. Y'all keep typing in the chat and speaking to each other, and I'm gonna pull this video up. The first video we're gonna listen to, y'all, and I gotta turn my Bluetooth on.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Alright, y'all, this first video we're gonna listen to is from a channel called Mass Mind Collective Consciousness. And the video is speaking about, like I said, for anyone that wants to hit the link, please do and come on up. So the video is entitled How Grief Affects the Physical Body. Okay. That's not, it's only like, I picked short videos because I don't want to drag these on, and I don't want to, do too, I don't want this live to be too long. I don't want, so let me do this first before I should have did it before we started talking, but thank you, E Brooks. Thank you so much. Y'all go check out this channel, okay? Y'all go check out this channel, and maybe some of these videos on the channel. It's a good channel, will help, okay? So let's listen to this video, y'all. Is it connected?
How grief affects the physical body. Surprising how physical grief can be. Your heart literally aches. A memory comes up that causes your stomach to clench, or a chill to run down your spine. Some nights, your mind races and your heart races along with it. Your body is so electrified with energy that you can barely
Let me start that over, because I want y'all to hear that part. Because I don't know about any of you all, but I've experienced all of that. And a lot of times when I experience like the heart racing, hey heathen, the heart racing. Remember I told y'all, not even a month or so ago, when I was experiencing my heart was racing and things of that nature, and I ended up going to the hospital thinking, my little tickle was acting up. It was all I had that sinus infection, and I was going through something at that time, mentally, as far as dealing with this grief. And I didn't realize that all of it was connected. I didn't realize it. So y'all listen to this. And I hope y'all can understand this lady. She got sort of kind of like an accent. All right, so let's listen.
How grief affects the physical body. Surprising how physical grief can be. Your heart literally aches. A memory comes up that causes your stomach to clench, or a chill to run down your spine. Some nights, your mind races and your heart races along with it. Your body is so electrified with energy that you can barely sleep. Other nights, you're so tired that you fall asleep right away. You wake up in the morning still feeling exhausted and spend most of the day in bed. So, what causes these physical symptoms? Research shows that emotional pain activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain.
This is what I was talking about, y'all, when I was mentioning this in my live. Emotional pain activates the same portion of your brain that activates physical pain. So a lot of times when you're so emotional, or you're grieving and crying and things of that nature, it'll literally cause you to have physical pain.
Grief increases inflammation, which can worsen health problems you already have and cause.
So remember I told y'all, and see, when I listened to this video, I actually had to make a call to my therapist because it just took me. Now it just said that. Let me back it up a little bit so y'all can hear what she just said, and I'm gonna tell y'all.
Same regions of the brain as physical pain. Grief increases inflammation, which can worsen health problems you already.
Grief and It irritates. It brings on inflammation. Remember when I told y'all I got this pinched nerve in my neck that's been really, really bothering me? Like up until oh Lord, but it's been bothering me for remember I told y'all I got this pinched nerve in my neck that's been really bothering me so bad. And I got medications for it, but I don't really like to take it because I don't like taking I take enough pills. If I ain't gotta take a pill, I won't take it. But I ordered that, which is the reason why I ordered that neck massager. Yeah, so it's saying grief brings on inflammation. So if you already got like a pinched nerve or you got something, in your body, as far as anything, it'll irritate it.
They have and cause new ones. It batters the immune system, leaving you depleted and vulnerable to infection. The heartbreak of grief can increase blood pressure and the risk of blood clots. Intense grief can alter the heart muscle so much that it causes broken heart syndrome, a form of heart disease with the same symptoms as a heart attack. So, let's discuss a few facts about grief and how it affects us. 1. Normal versus pathological grief. Depression is not a normal part of grief, but a complication of it. Sydney
Hey,
Zizuk,
Venus.
MD, a grief researcher and professor of psychiatry at the University of California, San Diego, says in normal grief, the sad thoughts and feelings typically occur in waves or bursts followed by periods of respite, as opposed to the more persistent low mood and agony of major depressive disorder, he says. People usually retain self esteem, a sense of humor, and the capacity to be consoled or distracted from the pain in normal grief. While people who are depressed struggle with feelings of guilt and worthlessness and a limited ability to experience or anticipate any pleasure or joy. Complicated grief differs from both depression and normal grief. M. Catherine Shear, MD, a professor of psychiatry at Columbia University School of Social Work and director of its Center for Complicated Grief, defines complicated grief as a form of persistent, pervasive grief that does not get better naturally. It happens when some of the natural thoughts, feelings, or behaviors that occur during acute grief gain a foothold and interfere with the ability to accept the reality of the loss. 2. How does avoidance harm your health? Margaret Strobe, PhD, a bereavement researcher and professor of clinical psychology at Utrecht University, says that recent research has shed light on many of the cognitive and emotional processes underlying complications in grieving, particularly rumination. Research also shows that rumination or repetitive negative self-focused thought is actually a way to avoid problems. People who ruminate shift attention away from painful truths by focusing on negative material that is less threatening than the truths they want to avoid. Rumination and other forms of avoidance demand energy and block the natural abilities of the body and the mind to integrate new realities and heal. Research by Strobe and others shows that avoidance behavior makes depression, complicated grief, and the physical health problems that go with them more likely. Efforts to avoid the reality of loss can cause fatigue, weaken your immune system, cause inflammation, and prolong other ailments. 3. How do role adjustments affect your health? When someone close to you dies, your social role changes too. This can affect your sense of meaning and sense of self. Caregivers, especially close family members, face complicated role adjustments. The physical and emotional demands of caregiving can leave them feeling depleted even before a loved one dies. And losing the person they took care of can leave them with a lost sense of purpose. Research shows that during intense caregiving periods, these people not only experience high levels of stress, but they also cannot find the time and energy to look after their own health, says Catherine Borner, PhD.
Are y'all hearing this? Are y'all hearing this? When people grieve, they grieve to a point to where they just let their own health go.
Bereavement researcher and professor of gerontology at the University of Massachusetts in Boston. This, my friends, can result in the emergence of new or the re-emergence of existing dormant health problems after the death of the care recipient. These health issues may or may not be directly related to the caregiver's grief experience, but they are likely related to the life situation that was created through the demands of caregiving. It can be hard to make life work again after a close family member dies. Straub says the stress of adjusting to changes in life and health during and after a loss can increase vulnerability and reduce adaptive reserves for coping with bereavement. Friends, for many people going through a hard time, reaching out is impossible. If your friend is in grief, reach out to them. Grief researchers emphasize that social support, self acceptance, and good self care usually help people get through normal grief. The thing about grief and depression and sorrow is that you can reach out for. Our advice to most people who are grieving is to lean into it. You only get to grieve your loved one once. Don't spend the whole time trying to distract yourself or push it down. It does go away eventually, and you will miss feeling that connection to that person again. And if you feel like your whole life has fallen apart, that's okay. It probably has. Now you get to decide how to put yourself back together. Can you relate to what's mentioned in this video? Leave us a comment and let us know your thoughts. And please share this video with anyone else who can benefit from it. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll know when we upload new videos.
Okay, y'all. So I thought, listen, when I listened to that video, and ebooks, drop that link one more time to that channel. Hmm, I think y'all should listen to that video and re-listen to it because it lets you know. Hold on, y'all. It lets you know that a lot of times when you're grieving, that when you start having these physical ailments that maybe you either had you had, or if you get some that you never had, it could all be related. It could be all be related. So you have to, and I know people a lot of times, you know, they ignore the signs that your body is really, really, really taking a toll. Like the grieving is taking a toll on your body. They don't realize and recognize it. But a lot of times it's all related. Hey, Heathen.
Hey,
Yeah, Juicy Kim. How you doing, girl?
good.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. Just finished feeding my face. Trying to have a big back summer.
Don't do that. Don't do the big back song. But yeah, so what do you think about that video?
Um, it is very much on point because, like,
Mm,
for me, I was so numb emotionally. I was already numb after my stepdad and my mom, but then
mm-hmm,
when my dad, I was just completely numb to everything, emotions, physically. I wasn't feeling nothing.
mm-hmm,
I wasn't feeling anything emotionally, physically. I was just like numb. And then it was like, I got to snap out of it.
mm-hmm. See, you was able to snap out of it. Not so much as 100%, but you was able to snap. You was able to realize, okay, that you needed to snap out of it. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't get. A lot of people don't realize it. A lot of
Well,
people don't realize that it's taking over.
it was more so being more in tune with our Heavenly Father
Mm-hmm.
and just having to have a conference call with the Trinity. I mean, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we need to have a meet. Need to have a meet and greet.
Right, Slay. Yeah.
And knowing not just so much the deaths, because the deaths were hard, but that wasn't the hardest part. It was taking care of them and seeing them go from being
Mm-hmm.
so independent
Mm-hmm.
into a space where they no longer had their dependency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was hard, just the caretaking part of it.
That's what that video touched on too, as well.
Yeah, it's very, very the caretaking part was the hardest part for me because it's like you got to keep going, but I don't have the energy.
Mhm.
But God's got me. So it was pretty much that's where the realization is. I don't want to live. I can't keep doing this.
Mhm.
Um, and I want to be fully aware and want to, and that's just me as a person. I need to
Mhm.
understand why I'm feeling this way,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
I don't like this feeling because it's got me in a I'm in stuck mode,
Oh yeah.
and yeah. But it was the videos very much on point.
Yeah, I thought so when I listened to it. I done listened to it actually about 5 times. This may be my sixth time listening to it, just so I can remind myself of, um, you know, remind myself that you got to remember when you start noticing these things, you have to realize that you need to reach out for help, or you may need to, you know. But
Yeah.
the, the next video that we're gonna listen to, y'all, and it's only like 7 minutes. Is in now the name of this channel is Therapy in a Nutshell. All right, for my mods, Therapy in a Nutshell. And I'm gonna put all these links in my description box. That's another thing I gotta do. Start putting tags and stuff in my description box of my videos. But and then the title of the video is Seven Signs. Listen carefully. Um Seven signs that you're not dealing with your grief and your loss. Hey Mimi.
Hey, love, how you doing? Hi.
I'm blessed. How about you, girl? Good to see you.
Listen, I'm blessed in spite of myself. Hey,
I
Miss
know
Come,
that's right. Thank you, E Brooks.
Miss Come Correct and Petio. Hey, everybody.
Hi,
Um,
Mimi.
in the chat and on the panel. One of the things I wanted to say is, a lot of times people, when you're the strong person,
Mhm.
in a friend group or your family, I think sometimes we kind of fall to the wayside because people
Mhm.
just automatically assume that we're okay.
Mhm.
Preach.
Because you know what I'm saying, because we're always there for
And
other
it's what
people.
well, wait, Mimi, and let me say this because I got to be fair. It's not
Yes,
always the assumptions, even though they should know differently. But it's not always the assumptions because if you're anything like me, you contribute to that because you put on that persona, you put on that everlasting smile when you're around people that you know that you have to be strong for. See, that's me. Like,
yeah.
even though my family knows, you know, that I'm grieving, I don't show them that I'm grieving. And a lot of times, for me, I even resist when my certain family members come to me and say, "How are you?" or "Are you okay?" and they check on me. See, these people tell you I get irritated at the fact that nobody wants me to be alone. Like if it ain't my daughter constantly coming through, my daughters, my parents, my friends, and sometimes I just do want to be alone.
That's understood. I think sometimes you really do, and I kind of think maybe you can.
Be safe,
I
ask
agree
questions.
with what you're saying,
Hmm.
because a lot of times it's just your natural reaction. People say, "Oh, how you doing?" You say, "Oh, I'm fine," because you really don't want to, I guess, unload how you really feel
My words is I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
That's
I
what I
like.
say. I'm good.
Yeah. A lot of time I'll say I'm good. Or I'm all right. Or
Hmm.
I'm fine. But I was gonna say when my mom passed in 2020, and it was right in the
Sorry to hear
midst
that.
of COVID. Yeah, I'm an only child
Yeah.
too. My mama's only child, and so
Mm.
Oh.
yeah. And my mama, it was seven of them. So imagine trying to do everything. You gotta, the obituary. You gotta be in control of everything, and then
Hmm.
you really don't really have time to grieve, during that process,
Not in the beginning. I get that part.
yeah,
Like in the beginning, when you got to be on autopilot and
yep,
you got to get things done, and I get that because I've experienced that twice. Like well, actually 3 times to be in auto, be on autopilot, and things got to get done. Everybody can't be where they can't make decisions and arrangements and things of that nature. But after the dust settles and everything is done, you have to take care of you. But go ahead, Mimi.
I think you do, but I like for me, um, shoot, like I said, I was just like you say, trying to get through, trying to push through, get
Mhm.
everything done, and then you can say, oh, I can woosah and really deal with it. But then I found that I really wasn't dealing with it before.
Mhm.
My husband had to say, are you okay? Because I found myself, I was withdrawn. I didn't want to do anything. You don't want
Mhm.
to get up out the bed. It's hard to, and I was like, dang, especially with me, when I think sometimes too, when you're in ministry, or a lot of times, sometimes people think you're supposed to have all the answers. And
Right.
there's no right way and a wrong way to grieve. There's no time frame on
Mhm.
grieving. I tell people it comes in like a wave. It's like waves. It rolls in
It
and it
does.
rolls out. And some days are better than others. But I had felt like, dang, I didn't even realize that I had just, kind of mentally checked out.
Mhm.
Until my husband say, okay, this enough. You kind of got to pull yourself, back together. And I'm like,
Mhm.
how do I pull myself back together? With my mama gone.
Yeah. The hardest part for me is the fact is having to, cause he, in the midst of it all, you got to realize and recognize that the people that we lose, our loved ones are, they're in a better place than we are here on earth. That's one saving grace that you think about. But two, you still, as a person and as a human and as a person that loves that person and is so used to having that person in your life, um, the hardest part for me is to continue on and not being able to see that person or call that person or talk to that person, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
I definitely understand what you're saying.
yeah.
Just, a smell or a song or something can happen that just instantly,
Oh, I had a whole breakdown behind the smell. I
oh,
had a
girl.
whole. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize that that actually, at the point that I had that breakdown, it was because of that smell until I dealt with it later on. But I had to have that breakdown. But I had a whole breakdown over the smell of Tony. He had dreads and he had this oil that he
Mm.
used on his hair. And
Yeah.
for some reason, I don't know, because I don't remember opening the oil. I mean, the oil's just been sitting there. And for some reason, I walked into my room one day and it was just a room reek of that oil.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
don't know where it came from. I don't know how it happened, but I just smelt it. Oh, somebody. I smelt it. But go ahead.
I understand. Like I said, just me just sitting here talking about this, it brings, sadness on. You understand?
Yeah.
Then I just lost my friend. So it's,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
And what gets me about life is that it's always a trigger. You can't get past these triggers. Like when you feel like you getting over something or
Yeah.
you're trying to get over something and it's getting easier to deal with and to live with it, you either something else happen or you keep running into these triggers and it's just so hard. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Hey
Yes.
Ramlin, good to see you, baby.
Hey, Miss Coleman, how you doing, sis?
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna let y'all
Hey.
keep talking. I'm gonna wait my turn. But hey, y'all, hey.
Okay,
Hey,
go
I'm
ahead, Mimi.
listening.
Go ahead, girl.
I'm talking and I'm listening. But like I said, even just talking to you all coming up on a panel, I didn't even think I would get this, emotional about it. But like you said, you just never know when it's gonna hit you. Like you said, a smell, just anything can trigger those memories and those feelings just come in. Like I said, like a flood. And you kind of have to grab a hold of yourself. But like I said, people think you have all the answers and stuff. And even though you know what the word tells us that we don't grieve as the world grieves, but that don't mean
Right.
I'm not. I'm still human
Mm-hmm.
because before I'm all of those other you know abbreviations that they may put on my name, I'm still Mimi and I'm still
Mm-hmm.
human. You know what I'm saying? I still
Mm-hmm.
miss my mama and
That's what I was just gonna say. You still
uh,
miss your mama. Yeah.
yes, God, yes. And which,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it was right before Mother's Day, before 2020. So this Mother's Day was kind of like, sometimes they different. You know what I mean? Things hit
For
you different.
some reason, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on, circumstances where you are in life. Sometimes you may be better than others, and then sometimes you just have, like you say, have those days where you just come apart, or just can't
Mm-hmm.
stop crying for no reason.
Can't stop.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
just like
Yeah.
the waterworks. So I just really wanted to tell people it's okay to grieve, but try not to park in that grief. You know,
Yeah.
grief stage. Try not to park in it. People always say, "Well, I'm going through." Going through is a state of movement. It's not
Right.
parking and staying there. It's an action verb. So going through, at some point we gotta come out, on the other side, but we can't just park there in that grief, or it, like you say, it will bring all those health issues like
Mm-hmm.
elevated blood pressure, heart problems, inflammation.
All of that. All of those physical
Stress.
ailments.
Stress
Yep.
can kill you. Stress will
Stress,
kill you.
stress will kill you.
That's
It
right.
will.
Kill you.
It will. Eventually, if you don't get a hold to it, it will. And that's what the doctor emphasized to me when after I lost my son. Cause see,
Hmm.
I had a heart attack before I
Right.
lost my son, which came from years and years of trauma that I didn't deal with. And after I had that heart attack is when I started my therapy, right?
Yeah.
So I had my first heart attack November. That February, I lost my son, and I basically almost did grieve myself to death after I lost my son. That's why I knew when I lost Tony, I knew I kind of,
Take your time.
mm, when okay, so when I lost my son, I was grieving myself to death and didn't realize it, right? Until I had
Me.
that second heart attack, right? And that's
Right.
when my doctor pretty much let me know what was going on. So, okay, so when I lost Tony, it was like I already knew what I had done and did not do when I lost my son to where I ended up having that heart attack. So I tried everything and still to this day try everything in my power not to fall back into those habits, if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense, but like you say, it's a slippery slope. It
Tell
really,
him the truth. I didn't know you didn't have a blue baby. I'm sorry. Let me get it to you right now. Go ahead, Mimi.
yeah, it's a slippery slope. And
Hmm.
you can listen. I tell people that you got one foot, on a banana peel. You know what I'm saying? One foot
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
one on a banana peel and before you can slip up, like you're saying, and just fall
Hmm.
back to it and don't even realize it till you find
Hmm.
say not answering your phone, not really wanting to be bothered with people, you know,
Hmm.
want to. Sometimes you just need that time alone so you can, get yourself back
And
together.
that's all I wanted. And see, with that being said, I didn't even realize that I was actually, quote unquote, pretty much dying of a broken heart until my doctor made it. Cause see, what people don't when you're grieving, you don't realize. Hey, Melissa, good to see you, sweetie. You don't realize. Oh yeah. Hey, D. True.
Good afternoon.
Sometimes,
Good
good
afternoon.
afternoon. Hey, you don't realize it slowly creeps up on you, right, Mimi? So you stop eating, right?
Yep,
You don't eat, you don't sleep, right? Um,
all of the above.
you might slowly but surely stop taking your medications. And see, I was doing all of that. I was all of that was a part of what was going on with me, but I wasn't realizing and recognizing because all I know is that it was talking about getting up, taking medicine, or eating, or things of that nature. I couldn't even get out of bed, right? So, like I say, I didn't realize the damage I was doing to my body until I actually had that second heart attack, and I had to. It was a wake up call. Still didn't make my grief like any better. I was still grieving, but I knew I had to do these things if I wanted to stay here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just sometimes people that's grieving don't actually realize that they're grieving and that the grief has taken over. Basically, what I'm saying is sometimes it takes a family member or a friend. That's why I agree with what you said, Mimi, when you said, I think Mimi dropped off. She'll be back. I think I agree with Mimi when she say check on your strong friends. or your friends that you think are the strong ones, because those are the ones that's able to hide or mask what they're actually feeling. Ramley,
Mhm.
you wanna chime in?
Yeah, I was about to say I cannot lie. I was so glad when people wouldn't leave me alone because it'd be like the deep depression, you can't eat, you can't sleep, and
Mhm.
certain stuff when people pass. Because my first loss was my mom at 10. So
Oh wow.
throughout the years, so the next one, well, so many had happened, but then it was these two back-to-back ones, my dad and my cousin. So instead of being sad, I became so angry because well, for me it's like who died and how and all of that stuff. Some story might be,
Yeah.
the how it
Mhm.
happens.
The
So
why. The why is the biggest
yeah, the
thing.
why, the hows, and the like. And then I had a sibling situation with my dad. So basically, my perception of it was y'all let this happen to him. Y'all kill him, so to speak. And y'all took all his shit. Y'all took the
Mm,
house. Y'all didn't pay on the house like he was supposed to.
mm,
You just, and man, I'm telling you, then by him being in Florida and I was way in North Carolina and stuff
mhm.
and couldn't be there. But I'm telling you, I was like on a homicidal freaking mission.
See, the
Anybody could
worst
have
thing
got
that
it.
can happen, and that's why I don't understand why people entertain to me, one of the worst things that can happen when you lose a loved one is drama follows. Like I have never understood why it be. I do understand why it happens because people are just people, but I don't get how family members at a time where you've lost a loved one and you're grieving and things of that nature, why any other
Girl,
issues that's
cause
going on, why you can't pretty much set those to the side because
woo,
you already done lost somebody you love, and then for drama to follow it, it only makes it worse. It like
yeah,
only
cause
makes
I
it
was
worse.
angry and blamed them because I felt like they was lying to me about certain affairs,
Yeah.
money, health wise. When he died, my daddy had a life insurance policy. We come to find out he didn't even have that anymore. We had to
Oh
put up
wow.
money. This man would have, so it was just little stuff like that. And I was, oh, girl. So I'm glad people checked out on me. I became, I'm a social drinker. I become a drunk on the weekend. But a bitch was getting up drinking. I was like,
Oh
yeah,
wow. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was
running
bad.
out. I was running rapid. So again, we don't talk about, well, I done been, and one thing I will
Hold
never
on.
do is get
Let me
drunk
say
and
this
come on
right quick,
live or pop
Ramley.
on
Hold
nobody's
on,
panel.
Ramley. Hold on, Ramley. Y'all,
Okay.
please pray for Miss Gloria. Pray for Miss Gloria. She said she's not having a good day. She can't get out of the bed. She needs y'all to pray for her, okay? So please, we're gonna take a moment right now to pray for Miss Gloria. We're gonna go on silent for a minute.
In the
Pray
name,
for Miss Gloria. Miss Gloria, please call me if you need me. Y'all pray for Miss Gloria right quick, and we'll be right back.
yes, Lord.
All right, Miss Gloria, you know we got you, boo. We got you, and God got you too, okay? So you gonna be okay. You gonna be okay.
Most
Um.
definitely, Miss Gloria. And I
Mm.
thank you again so much for this truth. I can't say it enough because the
Are
people
you welcome, Ramley?
that haven't went and saw, there's not the therapy type. This is
Absolutely.
another form of therapy for us
Absolutely.
because we all have this in common. We all gonna lose somebody we love and grieve, and we all gotta go. So
Mm-hmm.
I just thank
Hey,
you
Miss
for this.
Rosie,
Things like this is much needed.
you're
Hey,
welcome. And I listen.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course, the truth. Go ahead.
Okay. Everyone that's gone through exactly what Ramblin went through, the fighting, the taking, the no, that's mine. It's not. No, it's mine. That's why a will is so important.
Mm-hmm.
A will can be changed at any time, but a will cannot be made after it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and knowing where that's why a lockbox is very important. Putting all your stuff in one place I know
Mhm.
nobody expects these things to happen, but a will, the earlier the better. Things can
Mhm.
be added to the will, things can be taken out of the will. If things are sold that are in the will, they become null and void.
Mhm.
But the one thing you're going to end up having more problems with is probate court. That's one thing you never want to go to probate court because that's other people deciding who gets what.
Yeah.
So basically the will is the most important thing to it. Yeah, a will isn't guaranteed because people will fight over that, but you know what? If you have a strong will, they can't fight.
Mhm.
If you name an executive of your will, they can't fight. And again, that
I
becomes a
don't see
problem
why
too.
people want to. I don't get why people would want to fight when it comes to. Well, I know people may be in their feelings because they feel like this person got this and this person got that and this
Mhm.
and the third, and that's where the greed part comes in. And I just cannot. Like I don't understand. I thank God that I've been blessed. Like with the deaths that I've dealt with, as far as me, we there's never been any drama ever, and because I don't even know if I would be able to handle drama. Cause Ramla, I don't see how you did it, girl. Cause
No, but you know
already
what? How I
dealing with
did
it.
it? I'm gonna keep it real with you. How I did it because they were down there with Daddy, and they were supposed to take care of him. And the moves that they made with him caused him his death. So
Wow.
that's why it was drama for me.
Yeah.
Um, and they were stealing from him while he was still living because he had, he ended up having a stroke and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He was very limited with words. He'll still he'd be like, yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Ding ding ding. Communicating like that. And they took
Mhm.
advantage and they instead of taking care of him properly,
Right.
um, they
That's
just took
sad.
everything from him.
That's sad.
And he were the
That's sad.
kids he were there for. Cause like I said, we were, you know,
So this
most of
was
his kids,
another. This was another set of siblings of his.
yeah.
Not siblings, but kids. Your
Kids
siblings.
yeah. My siblings are his that he raised in Florida with him.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, and for them to do this, that's why I was on a rage and
Girl.
wanted to make them go night night too. So because to me they the one when they threw him in that nursing home and
Mm.
was lying saying, "Oh, we checked on him, we doing it, he good," and nobody noticed the sore on his toe that
Mm.
eventually led him to death. Yes, that's why I was in a rage because you're lying, talking like you acting like you taking care of him,
Hey
but
Reggie.
you know
Right.
you stealing
Girl,
from
that
them.
see that's a whole set. That's a whole that's something else totally. That's like piled upon the grief because you now realize your dad,
That's
and
right.
now you're mad because when you lose somebody, I don't know if it's common. I've been told that it's common to be angry, but I go in and out of being angry. I ain't gonna tell no more lie to this day, and that goes back to even with my brother. And my brother been gone almost 10 years, my twin brother. But I get angry over sometimes I get mad at myself. Shit, I get angry with myself because I feel like, what is you angry about that for? Like I can name things about the people that I've lost that I get angry about, and I be feeling so bad about it. But then it's my anger towards God. I go in and out of that, and it's just all these emotions. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
my anger was toward myself too, because they was like, "Oh, you
mm,
don't have to. We got him." And the whole time I was like, "Nah, we should have went down there and got him. He should have, he should have came home." Type of thing.
yeah,
But
you
they
should have
played the
went
game
down.
so raw and he was so good to them. So we were thinking, why not? Of course, maybe you are, you know what I'm saying? You holding them down. But the end tell you everything. Like, we realized he
Yeah,
ain't had no money for this. Like, why won't y'all pay it? The man made good money.
yeah,
He
that's
had little checks
sad.
and stuff coming in and y'all won't pay him nothing. So yeah, I'm still not at the forgiving point with them. I haven't forgave him that much. But my whole thing was he didn't have to go type thing. Cause
Now
a sword could have
that right there causes so much anger when you feel like a person like passes away unnecessarily, oh my God, that brings on the anger for real.
Yeah.
Now you
That
said
brings on.
you said he had something on his toe.
Yeah, it was just a bad sore, but it was on his toe. Now, if
See,
y'all
when,
was
when
there,
That
somebody's diabetic, I know that you
yeah
like when
yeah
you're diabetic, a sore on the toe can lead to death.
yeah.
It can lead to gangrene, which leads to
Yes,
cutting off that limb. It can lead to blood
because
clots. Oh
but
my
that
God, a sore
not
can
only
lead.
was the nursing home negligent, but
yes, that's what I was
they were
about to say.
saying they were going and bathing them, and so the
Well,
stories just
see,
didn't add up.
there you go. That's why I tell people don't go in there and you bathe anybody. If you're bathing them, they still need to be checked by the nurse
Hmm.
daily or weekly, just their whole body checked to make sure. Now, if you want to know, I'll bathe them, then you're taking all the responsibility away from the nursing home by doing
Right. So in my
by,
mind at the time was like, damn, was you trying to kill? That's just how my mind went. So yeah, that shit was wild. And you know,
again, it's still the nursing home. The nursing home is supposed to check them
oh yeah,
regularly,
they definitely
if,
were
if,
negligent.
if not daily. They're
They
supposed to
were
check them,
definitely negligent. And
especially
then
if
just to see him waste away because he got the his I mean he just became sepsis.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
He's
sepsis. I tell
but
people all the time, sepsis will kill.
but if
yeah, so
if a patient is not mobile, they are supposed to check them daily for bed
mm,
sores, regardless if they're the ones cleaning up after them or not. Now they're going to
Hmm.
say, "Oh well, I'm sorry, but they would if he messed himself, they would clean him, not us." Then again, you're taking the burden off of the nursing home by trying to do all the things that they're paid to do.
right.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
paying them good money, and they're supposed to check everything, especially if they're not mobile. If they're not mobile, they're supposed to be in there daily, flipping him, turning him, and putting him on his side, flip him to the other side, lay him on his back, go in a
But
couple
them
hours
funky
later and
ass
move him.
kids of his shouldn't have put him in the fucking nursing home in the first place.
Well,
They got big ass houses and all, so yeah. So it'd be things like that on top of grieving that's just like so
yeah,
but
but
It
again,
adds on.
yeah,
It makes it
yes,
harder.
or like my cousin found in your house dead. Nobody cared enough about you to come check on you in a week. Like it just be shit like that. That like all death is gonna make you grieve, but then that
Hmm.
anger comes in with like the other parts.
Hmm.
Gun violence. It's so
Yeah.
Part
yeah.
grieving as anger.
Oh my God, we ain't gonna even talk about the gun violence. That shit right there is ridiculous.
yeah.
So yeah,
But the ones that ain't checking on them are the first ones there with their hand out. The ones that
hey
talk about, well,
amazing. Hold
I
on,
used to,
y'all.
yeah.
Hold on, the truth. Give me a minute. Hey amazing. Good to see you, sweetie. I know. Look, let me do this. Y'all give me 3 minutes. Hopefully everybody on the panel can stay. I know the chat is gonna be here. Let me do this right quick. I was gonna do it anyway for Miss Gloria. Uh, but I'm gonna do it for everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. My amazing has dropped in who I know that she's been grieving, y'all. She's been really, really grieving. That's why I asked y'all for prayers for her. She's still grieving her son. So let me do this right quick, y'all. 3 minutes and we'll be right back, okay? If you can't stay, I understand. But we're gonna do this right quick. Lord, you should know I was running on my own. Put my faith in me, but the truth came to be. Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Sure as you can tell that I am getting well. Away from your presence, getting lost, getting desperate. I need you. Lord, I need you. Living on my own, yeah. Everything's going wrong and want to admit it. But now, Lord, I get it. I need you.
God, I need you. I want you to know wherever you go, I'll follow you, Lord, and you'll see me through. Lord, I need you, Lord. Yeah. Lord, I need you. 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 Lord, I need you.
Oh, speak to me, 'cause your word is true. Now I can see and all that I do, God, I need you. God, I need you. I just want you to be pleased with my life, with whatever I do. Now I realize, Lord, I need you. God, I need you.
Don't wanna be without you. Can't make it without you. Lord, here's my all, no gimmicks, no strings. Doing my part, you can have all of me. Nothing will ever come between. Lord, I need you.
We're all gathered here in your presence, Lord, with our arms open wide, with lifted hands and with open hearts. We welcome you to our until you come, dear Lord. Oh, we are so unworthy to even call on your name. So please
Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, I need you to guide me in everything that I do, everything I say, Lord. I need you in my home, and even when I'm riding down on the dangerous highways, I need you. I
Hey, Miss Ann, what song you talking about, Miss Ann? What song you talking about? Thank y'all so much, okay? Thank y'all so much for the prayers and and being with me while I played that for our people. Listen, Miss Ann, what you talking about? Mimi dropped out, but she's in the chat, y'all. Shout out to Mimi. Um, D Truth or Come Correct, y'all want to say anything else before I get into this next video? The one you just to my spirit? Yeah, that's my favorite song too. I'll play it again, Miss Ann, and I'm also play God as I saw your request. I'll play that towards the end as well. Um, the truth or come correct. Y'all want to say anything before we get into the next video?
No.
I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So therapy in a nutshell. Ebooks, drop that link for me again if you can, sweetie. In the name of the video, y'all. Okay, because and after this video, we're gonna talk some more. But I do want to. You did, girl. I didn't even see that, guys. I didn't see you request that song. I played it because I just played it. I didn't even know you requested it, but I thought you somebody requested Tasha Cobb. Didn't you request Tasha Cobb? I saw that one. But we're gonna talk, y'all, and this is listen. I dropped the link for anybody to come that wants to talk. Y'all talk all you want to talk in the chat, talk to each other. But I also wanted to get in these videos so y'all can have more resources to go to when you're going through things and you just don't necessarily want to talk because I know I get that way. Sometimes I just have to read up on things and listen to things in order to get through because I don't always want to talk. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Ann. That's okay. Just watch the replay, sweetie. Okay. Thank you for joining. All right. Let me play this video, y'all, right quick, so we can talk. Okay, guys, I got you.
What happens when you don't process your grief? What happens when you avoid dealing with loss? People say that time heals, but I would argue that it doesn't unless you allow yourself to work through your pain little by little. Now, it's clear that each person's grief is unique. There isn't a concrete set of steps you can do in order. There isn't a time limit for mourning. But there is a big difference between working through stuff and not working through stuff. People who process their grief allow themselves to face their pain, even in small doses. They address their feelings. They may write about them or talk about them. They mourn. When someone doesn't work through their
Let
pain,
me ask y'all a question. You welcome, Miss Glory. Miss Glory, you feel better now, sweetie. And you call me if you need to, okay? So listen, let me ask y'all a question. Come correct, D True, and everybody in the chat. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all feel guilty? Like, do you ever feel guilty when you like say for instance you're with family. It's a happy event. It may be a family reunion. It may be just any holiday that you celebrate with your family members, right? And you find yourself mentioning um, someone that you're grieving over. Say, the death is pretty like new, or the death might not even be new, but you still grieving that person. Basically, what I'm saying is, do you ever feel guilty about bringing that person up, like in happy times, like I, when it's fun times or a party or something going on, and you may mention that person? Do you
No,
do you ever feel guilty?
I don't because um that person was a part of me,
Hmm.
a big part of my makeup. And then two, you can't sit here and tell me I need to grieve and I need to go through the grieving process
Hmm.
and, feel some type of way because I bring up that person.
Cause see, a lot of times I feel as though this is why I feel guilty. Like if I bring up a person that I'm missing, and I can't help bringing the person up because either something happened that reminded me of the person, or I thought about the person, and I'm so used to talking about the person that it just slips out or whatever. A lot of times I feel guilty because I feel like if everybody's happy and having a good time, and you know what I'm saying, and then all of a sudden you bring up this person that's no longer here, I feel like it makes other people feel away. I feel like it makes them, feel as though, look, we trying to have a good time. So, we trying to have a good time. So why are you bringing up this? Why you doing this? That's how I feel.
Yeah, well, like when I bring them up, it's like, well, my mom, she was a social butterfly, so, but it's like a lot of them will bring up stuff, or like when they see me, well, of course, when they see me, they be like, you look just like your mama,
Mhm.
you know, or you look just like your daddy,
Mhm.
or you act just like your daddy, so they bring it up, but I don't feel bad because I mean, like, I'm supposed to speak of them. I mean, like,
I ain't gonna lie, I do sometimes. Like sometimes I could be in general conversation, even on live stream, but I do it before I bring up, my son or Tony or my, just without even realizing, recognizing it. And then once I do it and I verbalize and I hear it, all of a sudden I feel this wave of, you know, I guess it's guilt. I don't know. Especially like at family functions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. Like say for instance when we was at the the repast for Tony's brother. Like even though I was there, for the with the family for the wife and things of that nature, and it was about James. I was feeling the way I was triggered because I was thinking about Tony, but I wouldn't mention him. Like I didn't bring him up. But then, once we got to the house and everybody was relaxing with part, they was talking about him. They was bringing him up. But me myself, for me, I wouldn't bring. It wasn't like he was a stranger. It was like I felt like me bringing him up, I shouldn't do it. Like I shouldn't. We grieving James, so I shouldn't bring up Tony. But then when all the family started bringing him up and talking about him, that made me feel a little better. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I was just wondering if anybody else felt like that, like because I think I'm weird. So anyway, all right. So let's listen.
Try to distract themselves. They keep busy, they desperately avoid their pain, which in the long run leads to more pain. So, we're going to learn about 7 signs that you're not processing your grief. And you'll learn 3 ways to start to face your grief in small steps. Now, recently I partnered with Sarah Engler, LCSW, to create a course called Understanding Grief and Loss. And she teaches how loss
Okay,
can
Mimi.
stem from a loved one dying, but it can also come from many more situations, like a divorce or an expectation that doesn't happen, a lifestyle change like aging or a change in employment, and so many more situations where you may experience strong emotions about losing something that you care about. Now, in this course, Sarah does a great job explaining how not dealing with your loss can lead to these 7 signs. So, number 1 is compulsive behaviors. This can look like over or under eating, excessive spending, addiction to distraction, like endless Netflix binges and social media scrolling, and of course, substance abuse. Okay, the second sign is withdrawal from relationships. You might avoid people because you don't want to be asked, "How are you doing?" Or maybe you don't want to be around people if you're
Y'all listen to the steps. Now, the first step is the compulsive behavior. A lot of times it involves drugs, alcohol, overeating, not eating. The second step was damn, I forgot just that quick. Hold on, y'all. 'Cause I want y'all to recognize these things, okay? Listen.
from relationships. You
Oh,
might avoid people
withdraw from relationships. That's a huge one for me. Withdraw from relationships. Okay. So listen.
because you don't want to be asked, "How are you doing?" Or maybe you don't want to be around people if you're feeling down or you may cry. Whatever the reason, you start to pull away from people. Okay, number 3 is overfunctioning. Sarah explains how if you have 2 children whose parent dies, and one of them is tearful and emotional and struggling in school, and the other one seems fine, she's taking care of everyone else, she seems cheery and like she's adapting well, the one you should be worried about is the second child. Some people
See that second child will be me. That second child, making sure everybody else is okay. You know, making sure y'all got to pay attention now because a lot of y'all fall into these categories and you got to recognize it. That she is saying, which I thought the opposite, she is saying that the person is crying and getting their emotions out and letting their emotions out. That's not the one you need to check on. And I think that goes towards what Mimi was saying too as well. You need to check on that one that's just going, 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 and making sure this person, that person, and that person is okay. And they're not focusing on themselves. You know what I'm saying?
So true. Can I say something?
Hmm.
So, like, okay, I was the one, I was there. you
Mhm.
know. So I'm that one that, like I said, I just had to keep going, you know.
Mhm.
Um, then my sibling, they were that emotional, it hit
Mhm.
'em. But the thing for me was I don't express my feelings and my emotions, and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I get exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying. 'Cause I think- I
I'm
told you
very,
all the time. I tell you all the time. I grieve in the dark.
yeah. But even before thinking about or even experiencing grief, I've always been a private person. It's like
Mhm.
everybody would come to me as, to express how they feel, if they were having a good day, bad day, whatever.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when it came to, I shut down even more because one, I didn't know what I was experiencing. I'm still trying to
Mhm.
wrap it around my head as to,
Mhm.
what is going on. Like,
Yep.
why, what, what is this? So, one, it was hard to put into words as to what was going on.
It's
And
hard to
then
put into
two,
words sometimes what you're feeling,
yeah. And then
if you
two,
feel anything, right?
yeah, to sit and express myself like that to people. eh, And I'm like,
Mhm.
the one person that I would have trusted more than anything, that I did trust more than anything,
It's gone.
is gone.
Mhm.
So there was that part of loneliness, even though I wasn't alone.
Mhm.
I felt so.
I get it. I totally get it. Concrete. I told you before. I think me and you are pretty much the same as far as when it comes to grieving. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's listen.
Avoid their grief by pretending that everything's fine, or they immerse themselves in work, just, keeping themselves busy to distract themselves. Okay, number four is irritability. This looks like conflict in relationships sometimes. Things like drama and fighting can be a great distraction from internal pain, or it just can be a twisted expression of that pain. So just think of like some adult siblings who are mourning the
See, when
loss.
it comes to me, that's why I had to be very, 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 very careful about what I entertained on YouTube, right? Because you in grieving, you will entertain drama and things of that nature, and take your anger and your pain out on others. You'll do that
Mhm.
without even recognizing it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I get that what she's saying about willing to, even though you don't really do it, it's not something you want to do, but you will do it because it's one of the ways you expressing the fact that you're angry and you're hurt, and you just lashing out, lashing out, lashing out, and you're irritated. That's why I tell y'all, when I get to that point to where I get irritated and want to lash out, before I do that, I'll back away, like I'll back down, I shut down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of their beloved parents. If their pain seems unbearable, it may be more comfortable to fight over the inheritance than to sit with that pain. Okay, next is persistent sleep issues. So it's really common to have difficulty sleeping and eating right after a big loss. And again, there's no time limit, but if these problems persist without being addressed, it's a sign that you're not dealing with loss.
Well, give me my sign, honey, because I still ain't got right when it came to sleeping and eating. I mean, the thing about it is, I recognize it. I recognize that I don't eat right. I don't sleep right. Um, I recognize it, and I try to fix it. I try, but yeah, those two are huge for me.
One day at a time.
Mhm.
Okay, next is physical symptoms emerge. So sometimes the body keeps the score. When emotional pain isn't addressed, that pain can show up in illnesses, digestive issues,
Mhm.
muscle tension, headaches, high blood pressure, and other physical symptoms.
Mhm.
And lastly, mental health symptoms worsen. So grief is not a mental illness. Mourning is not a mental illness. It's okay to feel sad and to struggle and to not function normally after a loss. But when we don't get the support we need, or when we don't take care of ourselves or address our grief, then that can drop people out of a normal grief process into depression, suicidality, anxiety, or other mental health conditions. Now, like I said before, there is no timeline for this stuff. There's no simple, magical process that you can just work through that will magically make your grief go away. The difference between people who start to heal and those who avoid their grief is, do you lean in or do you lean out? So when big emotions come up, do you desperately seek to avoid, numb, suppress, or distract? Or do you face them, even if in little doses? So that doesn't mean that you have to just drown in your grief. There's 3 skills we'll borrow from Peter Levine. He's the founder of somatic experiencing, that you can use to start dealing with your grief.
Okay, y'all listen carefully. These are 3 things that these doctors suggest that you use to deal with grief. Listen.
Pendulation, resourcing, and titration. So pendulation is when you lean into the emotions, you swing into them, you let yourself feel them, and then you can swing out too, to ground yourself, to get comfort, to take a break and rest. So some distraction is okay as long as you face your pain in regular tiny doses with as much support and resources as possible. So a healthy nervous system can do both, right? It can swing in and feel, and then it can swing out and rest, right? Where an avoidant nervous system just clenches more tightly to avoidance, right? It's like, oh, I gotta stay over here and never feel anything. So as we move into and out of our emotions, we eventually integrate those experiences and our capability to handle them. So you may take some time to face your intense grief, to ugly cry, to scream, yell, shake, sob. And then you take some time to wrap up in a blanket and curl up with your spouse or your dog and watch some funny internet videos before you fall asleep, right? It doesn't mean that to process grief, you have to be sad all the time or let your emotions run your life. Pendulation means that you can just address them in these small chunks and then swing back out, right? Okay, the second skill is resourcing. So this is adding support to yourself while you face your pain. So instead of avoiding thinking about your loss or avoiding visiting the grave, you consider bringing someone with you to support you while you visit the grave. Or after you have a hard anniversary, maybe you find something that's really soothing for your body, like a hot bath or a massage or an exercise that feels good. So we're just adding resources to help strengthen you as you face, this painful experience. Now, the third skill is titration, and that just means doing things in small doses.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you need to work through some old memories or papers, set yourself a time limit to face your pain, and then take a break and come back to it after a rest. So you can just try to face your pain.
Well, I get that. I've been told that, that process as far as, like getting rid of things and packing things up is slow. But I'm going to be so honest, come correct, I still ain't even started.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I just told you the other day, last week. I just started talking to somebody. I'm like, well,
I'm talking about as far as, I know what you're talking about, but I'm talking about as far as packing
now
things up and
that's when I would have to say I had my breakdown.
and see, that's what, listen, oh, Lord have mercy.
And
I
it
can't
was
even,
if it was I dealt so much with so many different things, and one of the most beautiful things that I dealt with were the people who were not family members
hmm
who embraced,
hmm
my stepdad, my mom,
hmm
and me, and helped.
mm.
You see what I'm saying with with that. And that was when I had my breakdown, is when I went to the storage.
Yeah.
And when I opened those storage doors, I got a real good whiff. my mom and my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just left back out the storage room.
Hey,
And my
Candy.
friends, they realized that I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, I'm just got my head resting on the bar and I'm just bawling.
Yeah,
For the first time, just bawling, 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 bawling.
you had to release. I had to
Yeah,
I
because
had
I
to
had
ask
been
my
numb.
therapist because let me tell you something. I told you I tell y'all all the time. Sometimes I be thinking I'm like losing it because this is the thing. I couldn't and still can't understand why the fact that listen, the fact that this my house, the things in this house that belong to Tony at this point, everything is still in place. Everything is still the way it was when he was carried up out of this house in the ambulance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything from the bathroom to his things in the kitchen to the bedroom is the worst and things of that nature. So what I was so confused about and still am is the fact like I told my therapist, it hurts me, right, to walk around this house and see these things. Like honestly, on a daily, it hurts me to see his things, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
too, I still can't bring myself to pack them up. You would think that if walking around the house and seeing these things, it fucks with me. You would think that that would make me want to pack them up and get them out of sight. You know how they say out of sight, out of mind. So I couldn't understand why if walking around my house and seeing these things hurt me so bad, why I can't bring myself to pack them up. Because
Yeah, that's a. I mean, it takes
it's just like my
time.
mama. I had a complete meltdown when my mama finally set me down because see my daughters was already saying it. But you know, I cussed them out and tell them to get out my face, but I can't tell my mama that, right? So my
Mm-hmm.
daughter's been ragging on me to cut his phone off. His phone is still on, cell phone still on. Am not disconnected, it, right? So it broke me down the other day when my mama pretty much pulled me to the side, and it came out the blue. I went over there, uh, like I do every other day. I went over there, and I was in the kitchen making this woman some lunch, and she just comes in there, and I don't know if my daughter's had a conversation with her, or she just realized and recognized that I do still have the phone on. She just came in there. She said, "Hey," I said, "Hey." She said, "You good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm almost done." I thought she was checking because she was ready to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'm almost done." She said, she said, "I think you need to." No, no, she didn't. She said, "What are you waiting on to disconnect Tony's phone?" And I was like, "Huh?" Because it came out the blue, no conversation beforehand, nothing. And she was like, "I was wondering when you were going to, cut the phone off or whatever." This and that. I said, "Mama, I don't know." I said, "Why?" I got irritated. I got a little irritated because I'm wondering where the hell this coming from. Like that, I don't want to think about that. Like, I don't, what are you doing? So she was like, I did. I got a little irritated. I couldn't show her that.
Right.
I'm like, Mama, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. She said, well, and she kind of sort of put her foot down with me, and I'm still in my feelings about that because she said this is the last month. I said, what do you mean? She said, this is the last month that phone should be activated.
Okay, real time, real time.
Go
It's
ahead, go
da-
ahead.
it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But how long does the pain last if the vision is still there? If you take the vision away, the pain will be there, but for how long? How long will you figure it's gone? That's why normally people come in, they send you away,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
and then they do the deed because they know that you can't.
Well, I'm not gonna. That's not gonna happen. That's why my
Well,
people tell me, from my mama to my daddy to my girls. They say, "Mama, let me know when you're ready," because they know I'm not. Listen, I'm not gonna allow that to be true. I'm not
I
gonna allow anybody to come in
I
and
know.
get his things and put them away, and I'm not gonna allow that. I have to be here
Okay,
when it's done.
damned if you do, damned if you don't. What I'm saying is, the vision, it's gonna be there, and until you decide that you don't want, and that's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit down one day and say, you know what, time is up. No. So it's, do I face the pain, go through the pain of the things being gone, and I start my healing.
D True,
And I think my
which is
mama at this
which is
point is really. I think that the whole thing with the phone, which is what had me a little irritated. I think the whole thing with the phone with them is like step one.
it
Like
is
step one, she basically told me, I'm like, Mama, you don't pay my. Listen, if I want to pay for two phone lines, I pay for these two phone lines. So who are you to tell me to disconnect the line? I'm thinking like to myself, like, really? But she was like, this month is it. You
Is there
need to disconnect
something?
the phone.
Is there something on the phone
No,
that you want?
it
no.
was his phone.
I know that. I know that. But it'll still be his phone, even if it doesn't ring. You see what I'm saying? Is there a voice message on there? Is his talking
No,
in the phone?
I got voice messages on my phone from him.
Yeah, those you need to record those on another thing, just in case something happens to your
Yeah,
phone.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
what I'm saying is it the fact that you cutting the phone off, and you think it's something with cutting him off?
It's sort of kind of like the same reason why. Listen, I can't explain it. This is the only way I can explain it. It's sort of kind of like the same reason why I didn't want to. It took 3 hours. After it took 3 hours after he was gone for me to leave the hospital, and even then, when I left the hospital, right? Even though it took me like damn near 4 hours to leave the hospital, I sat there for all that time with him. When I left the hospital, it's the same feeling I got when I left the hospital and when I left that state. When I was on my way back here, I felt like I was leaving him. I felt like I was leaving him alone. I felt like once I was gone, that was it. You know what I'm saying?
hmm but what D Truth brought up is exactly that's an example of what the young lady just said in the video. That's a big part of facing the pain.
Pull,
And
pull
out
the
of
band-aid off.
all the things, that's probably the smallest step for you to take in facing the pain aspect of finally, removing all of his stuff.
But you don't have to remove all of
No,
it.
I'm talking about the phone.
Well, I'm just
When the
saying, but you
mom
don't have
when
to.
the mom brought up the phone as far as cutting it off,
Yeah, but what I said, you
that's a
don't have to
small
remove
step.
everything.
Yeah. No.
Baby steps, just little things, and then you'll slowly stuff starts to be put away. It's not, you're not throwing them away, and I think that's what you think, that they're going to be thrown away.
No, I know they're not gonna be thrown away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like even though it hurts to see the stuff, I still want to see the stuff.
Yeah. But your mom bringing that up, that's just a small step because you got to think true. She's experienced grief. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So she knows the look. She knows the steps, and you're her child, so she knows. Like she probably knew you was irritated when she brought up that statement,
Yeah, you probably
but
did.
but like I said, what the truth brought up, it goes back to what the young lady in the video was saying. Um, like when I finally decided to, you know, get rid of, guess what I did with it? All of those people that surrounded us and helped us through my stepdad being sick, my mom being sick, and then passing away, I gave all of that stuff to those people. And the clothes, I took those to a homeless shelter. And what was so crazy is like a month after doing that, like my mom and stepdad spread all over California.
Mm-hmm.
And to even see that some of the to see a homeless person walking around in my stepdad's clothes, and I just smiled. I
Mm,
just smiled because I know that I did what they would have approved of. And I
mm.
know that the people that helped and was still in my corner and helping me and checking up on me.
Well, I've given some stuff away. I've given a lot of stuff away to his sons. His brother, the one that just passed, he even had some stuff. Um, but I still have the things that I still have, including the whole car and the truck.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
yeah. But you and like D True said again, you just take it one day at a time. You know, doesn't have to be a massive haul, whatnot. But I think your mom bringing that up, I think that is a small step in being able to face the pain of that.
Hey, Danielle,
I think your mother just wanted to let you know
let me know what.
that she's watching.
Yeah, I
Mm,
agree too.
Now I don't know. Maybe your daughter said something to her. Maybe they all got together and said something to her. Maybe not. Maybe she's watching.
mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, the least the person that you never thought would nudge you will nudge you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
And their mamas will do it for sure.
This video got literally 30 seconds left on it. Let me play it, and then we go. I don't know what you're gonna say at the end. I forget, but let me play this.
Small doses. Now I know this isn't always possible, but it's one thing you can add to your toolkit. Sending all my love to those of you out there who have experienced a loss, and I hope this helps in some small way. If you'd like to learn more about Sarah Engler's course, please check out the link in the description below. Thank you for watching and take care.
Okay, that's it. Now, I do want to do this right quick before we start talking, before we get off here. It's one more video. It's only 4 minutes that I want to play. It talks about because this is a big one for me too as well. So I know it's probably a big one for a lot of people. It's entitled. It's the name of the page is Dr. Christina Hibbert, and the name of the video is entitled "Grief and Loss," dealing with death anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays. Okay, so it's only like 4 minutes long. Let's listen to it, y'all.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christina Hibbert, and welcome back to 3-Minute Therapy. Today we're going to talk about grief, loss, and how to get through death anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays. It can be very painful after you've lost someone to get through those first few holidays. And that's the first thing I want to share, is that the first year usually is the most difficult for many people. It can kind of be looming out there in the future, and we're not sure how to handle it or what to do. Number two, it's important, though, to let ourselves go through it in the way that works best for us. There is no right or wrong way. For some people, it may be a day of celebration on a birthday, a holiday, or even the death day, and remembering fondly their loved one. For others, it may be a day of pain or grief or sorrow. Number three, just to remember that a lot of the times depends on your relationship with the person who's died before they died, and also how they died. So if you had a rocky relationship with someone, it may be more difficult to want to celebrate their birthday, a holiday, or even their death day, and it may be more painful. You might have feelings of guilt remembering your relationship and wishing that it would have gone differently, or something like that. Also, if they died in a traumatic way versus dying naturally or peacefully as an older person might, you might not want to celebrate or remember in the same way that someone else might if they had a more peaceful death. Traumatic death, suicide can be very difficult. There are a lot of feelings of anger, shock, trauma that can go along with it. And bringing up those holidays, birthdays, and of course the death anniversary can bring a lot of that back. And if we haven't either started working through or finished working through those painful emotions of trauma or grief, it can be very difficult. I know that the first year of my sister's birthday, she died of an overdose while she was drinking. And it's, even though I know she didn't do it in her right mind, it still was done by her own hand. And I had a lot of anger because when she died, it changed my whole life. I inherited my nephews, and I became a mom of 6, and my family was changed, and it was a lot we were going through. And so I didn't want to celebrate her birthday that first year. I was still angry with her. I was still frustrated that she died by her own hand, even if she didn't really mean to intentionally do it. But I remember her friend posting that she was celebrating my sister's birthday, and I just felt betrayed by that. I thought, how can you celebrate her when look what she's done? But we all need to celebrate or experience or go through these things in our own way. And this year it was a whole different experience, 7 years later, that I was able to remember her fondly, to go get a massage and go to lunch and play with our children and take them out for ice cream, because I wanted to do the things I would have done with her were she here. And I wanted to show her how much I loved her by doing kind things for myself and for my family in honor of her. So do it whatever you need to do on your own timetable, and remember that it's okay if you don't feel like celebrating. You don't have to feel guilty. And if you do feel like celebrating, or you do feel like it's just another day, you don't have to feel guilty either. It's okay. Number 4, there are many things you can do to get through those days. For some, you need to have a day alone, and you want to be having privacy to read, to cry, to go back to bed, to take a bath, to do something where you can just think and be alone. For others, they want to be with family, and that can be very healing. Or doing something to remember the person, pulling together some photos, having a slideshow, having a little gathering of people. Whatever you want to do, those are all ideas, but you do what works for you. One thing that we do with our kids is on death anniversaries, we get together, we have a nice dinner, and we share memories of the ones that we've lost. And it's a nice, fun way to remember them, a happy thing that we can do so that it's easy for the kids to remember as well. And on certain anniversaries, we've let balloons go up to the sky. There's so many ways you can do this. And again, the important thing is to do what's right for you. Visit my website at drchristinahibbert.com for more on this topic and others like it. And I hope you'll join me back here for 3-Minute Therapy. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Okay. So what you think about that video, Concrete? Was that, y'all let me know in the chat, was that helpful, that video? As far as dealing with, because I know that's a big one for me, dealing with like anniversary, birthdays, and all that stuff. So what you think?
Yeah, that was a hard one for me, because it was like the anniversaries would never stop. Whether it was
Oh
the
yeah.
birthday,
The
they're not
birthdays will
there,
never stop.
the death
Yeah.
day, and then
Yeah.
the funeral day, the day they were laid to rest. It was a whole lot of
goes on and on and on, right?
yeah, and
It
I
could be
just
the
didn't. I
best
didn't want to
day.
be bothered with nobody. I'm just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm I'm good. I just need to process. Try and
See,
process it.
I actually on those days I be want to be by myself, but of course my family won't allow it. Like, you know, yeah, yeah, my family won't allow a child. Cause I even it was asked of me on Mother's Day, what I wanted to do for my birthday, and I'm like, what? I said I want to. I actually said I actually had on my brain what I wanted to do. I wanted to go away and be by myself, cause for my birthday it's like a
Yeah,
double dipper type thing because I've always for almost 10 years now felt a way about my birthday because of my twin brother, and then Tony passed the day before my birthday last year. So I just want to be by myself. I just want to go away and go somewhere and be by myself.
yeah.
I
It's gotten easier. So
Yeah, because
now
being a person that don't really like to, cause see, this is the thing, and it's what I try to explain to my mom now. Being a person who really don't like to have breakdowns and breakdown and breakdown in front of people, I like to do it alone. I know that that's gonna be a point in time that is probably gonna happen. And so, with that being said, I just want to be by myself. And I know if I'm here, uh, here's the going away part. I know if I'm here and I say, okay, listen, just let me be by myself at home. Let me be by myself. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna
hmm
happen. Somebody gonna show up. So,
yeah. So I just got to the point to where like from Mother's Day, I get, and especially since um being a true sipper and seeing how many people have lost their moms, like
mhm,
every Mother's Day, I get balloons for everybody that's lost a mom
mhm,
in the chat, and I just do a big balloon release.
mhm.
I just drive and just be releasing balloons.
Yep, I know you. I know.
And then I'll do do stuff that, like to celebrate. Like my stepdad was big into Comic Con and stuff like that.
Mhm,
So I'll go to a Comic Con convention. Or he was real big into DC and Marvel movies and
mhm,
stuff like that. So I do stuff to celebrate their life. My dad, his one of his favorite movies was Hacksaw Ridge, and him being a military vet, you know,
mhm.
that stuff. And I even went and got some golf clubs, and I'll just go to the driving range and hit golf clubs
Yeah.
because that's what my dad, liked to do. Um, my mom cooking. So I'll sit and I just take those times when they're really heavy on my mind, and it doesn't have to just be an anniversary date of some sort. But you think about it when you bury someone, you have a funeral, they call it the celebration of life.
Mhm,
And so that's what I want to do is celebrate their life, and I keep them alive in that aspect. That's a way for me to, you know, feel that closeness
mhm.
with them, and that's just for me. Um, but yeah, I mean it got easier, but boy, for a while there, it was just like because after my stepmom or my stepdad and my mom, they died a year apart.
Mhm,
And the career I had, I was high on demand, and I did stay invested in my job to avoid feeling the pain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was just go, go, go. So when I finally came back from California, I was like, okay, now I can start the grieving process.
Yeah.
And then my dad, and then next thing you know, my dad died. And I'm like, what the,
I told you,
excuse,
feel like soon as
excuse
you
my
feel like
English. I was
you
like,
trying
what
to,
the,
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just got on my knees out there in the middle of the street. And I was just like, I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm gonna just sit right here in the middle of the street until I get some kind of clarification as to what in the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I really
Okay.
wasn't mad at God. I never had that angry moment at God to God. I was angry at um all three of my parents because they didn't tell me what was going on. You know, with each case, I
Mm-hmm.
they didn't tell me what was going on. My mom, I can understand because, you know, she loved her kids and, you know, but yeah, but that anger didn't last long. I mean, because I understood, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, child, them anniversaries around the first 2 years was rough.
I know.
And then at least by the time when my dad passed, you know, I, I kind of had some understanding after dealing with the death of my mom and my stepdad. So,
Mm-hmm.
but girl, I was like, I think that's the first time my dad's side of the family ever heard me say a cuss word.
Oh Lord.
It is. And I was just like, I don't understand this right now. I feel like I'm in a whirlwind, like for real. Like, what is going on? And but yeah, it's you know, you just push through, and then with channels like this, for every because everybody's not ready to talk to somebody or don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah, professional. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. Mhm.
and this helps. And you know, you just got to be pushing on. One thing, I was given an assignment. I had to write down what is it that my loved ones are missing by not being here. And
Right.
then the
Yeah.
second assignment was what do what am I missing with them not being here?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think this assignment, those two assignments were going to were going to bring out what they brought out. But
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely a cleansing. It,
Yeah.
you know, I was sitting there crying like a baby. I was embarrassed for myself. Like, good.
Girl.
But it's a really good assignment, and anybody that wants to do it, you get some quiet time, do that.
Yeah, people have
What
to
is it?
realize, and see, that's why I try to, even though we talk, we talk and we talk about what we do and what we don't do. I think it's, important to play these videos that I listen to help me. I plan to help others to let people know it's not a set in stone type thing. Like there's no manual, right? There's no manual on how we deal with this stuff. You got to try and do what's best for you. Because nobody, everybody grieves differently. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody follows a a handbook or a guideline or anything like that. So, but with that being the case, even though everybody don't deal with it the same, I feel like everybody needs to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody needs to deal with it. But,
Yeah, because you got to face that pain or it will take you out.
hmm
And I refuse.
Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna go on mute for a minute. Let me see what my daughter wants.
Yeah, I refuse to let it take over me and just keep on pushing. The truth, how have you been?
Wonderful.
That's good. That's good.
Would there be any other answer?
That's the best answer.
That's right. The only answer.
Yeah. Been missing the music live, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back in it. With all these storms knocked out my lines to the house, so I had to have them put them back in.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, he been off the radar.
Rains every day. Rains every day.
hmm
Yeah.
And next week they'll be going into drought.
That's
Hmm.
what Flaky was saying this morning when I talked to her. She was like, "It's been raining, raining, raining," and she said, "After a couple of days, y'all gonna be begging for that rain because it's probably gonna be hot as hell."
Yeah. Well, then they start going. Well, can't. You can only water your lawn on,
After
on
5 p.m.
after 5 p.m. on Tuesdays.
and Thursdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays you can water your lawn every third week of the
hmm
month. Then pretty soon you're like, fuck it, the shit is brown now.
Ooh, Lord, it's just a mess, ain't it? All right, y'all. Listen, we're gonna get ready to get off here. We've been on here 2.5 hours. Y'all know my limit was, well, actually I give it 2 to 3 hours, but I just wanted to get that information out to those that needed it. I wanted to give y'all a chance to speak and talk and get things out, or off your chest or whatever today. I will be back on this channel on Thursday. So anybody that wants to talk about anything in particular, um that you want me to talk about, or whatever you feel like you want to talk about, let me know. You want to email me or whatever. If it's something you want me to talk about, but you don't necessarily want to be the one to talk about it, you just want me to address it, I will. So y'all make sure y'all email me and let me know. Um, and yeah, I have to stress that these live streams are for y'all. It's for me as well. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. They help me. Like, I was able to vent to y'all about how irritated I was with my mama because I can't tell my mama. Now, I did tell my daddy that I was irritated, and he just gave me a hug and offered to buy me something to eat. See, that's what being a fat girl brings you. They think that they just give you a meal. He gonna they just feel like they can just give you a meal and you'll be okay. But I did get a meal and it was good. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to the fact that my mom and dad know that I ain't really eating like I'm supposed to. So he hugged me, kissed me, talked to me, and offered to buy me a meal, which I took.
Are you hungry right now?
He said, baby, what you want to eat? I order you whatever you want. I'm like, I'm sitting here telling you I'm irritated with your wife, sir. He ain't gonna go against the grain, cause he feel the same way she feel. Like I need to get rid of the phone. He does, but he ain't gonna say he let her do the dirty work.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I just want to know, like I said, I get the vent, y'all get the vent, we get to talk, we get to talk. Cause like Come Correct said, everybody don't reach out for that professional help. So whatever I can do to help others, I'm knowing that we're all dealing with like the same thing. I feel like it's a good thing. And like I said, I honestly appreciate y'all coming into these lives and supporting these lives. And just remember, y'all. Did you want to say something?
Everybody grieves different.
Exactly. And I just
Hmm.
want y'all to know whenever y'all want to talk, You can come over here and you can talk. You can hit the link or not hit the link. It don't matter. But I'm gonna do this request for Goddess, and because I want to hear this song too as well. And for those that can appreciate the song, stick around. I'm gonna end it after this song, but I'm gonna play this song first, and then we're gonna get out of here. Okay? So here we go. Y'all give me a minute. Hold on. All right, here we go, y'all.
Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power,
My
by
lip.
your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. You are the fire, we are the temple. You are the voice, we are your song. You are our God, we are your people. You are the light, we stand in awe. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Not by might, not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. You called us out of the darkness, into your love, into your light. Grace upon grace, beauty for ashes. You come to us, we come alive. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you.
yes we do. Standing over you. Standing over you. Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power. Send your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. Not by might, not by power. Send your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God. All right, y'all. All right. I hope this live stream helped at least one person, which I know has helped a lot. Hey, Greg. Good to see you drop down, sweetie. Love you, girl. All right. All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for today on this channel. Like I said before, I appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to the panel we had today, which was an excellent panel. Shout out to Money Boy with his worthless ass. Shout out to D True. Shout out shout out to Heathen. Shout out to Mimi. Thank y'all so much for joining the live stream, supporting the live stream, participating in the live stream. I do appreciate it so much. D Truth and Come Correct. Y'all want to say anything before we get off? Thank you, Miss Margie.
Nope, I love y'all. And
Love
just
you too,
stay
sweetie.
prayed up and
Yeah.
blow up Truth's phone if you need to talk.
That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. True friends and family are not who you
She won't.
party
She
with,
won't answer.
who you party with, but who you can stand back with and pray. Amen, Greg. Amen, sweetie. Tamara, you welcome, sweetheart. You welcome. I love you too, sweetie. You be strong, Tamara. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, baby. All right, y'all, we're gonna get off of here. I want everybody to go blow your nose and things of that nature. Get together. I'll be live in about 30 minutes or so on my T channel. Okay, I know it's not scheduled, but I forgot to schedule it before I came on here. But y'all know truth is grinding, honey. I'm trying to, do my thing. But I love y'all. I do, and I appreciate y'all so much. And y'all listen. Have a blessed, beautiful rest of the day. Even though I know I'm gonna see y'all in a few minutes, I just want to tell the people that I might not see in the other live. But y'all enjoy your day. Be safe. Be blessed. Never stress. And just pray, pray, pray. Pray for each other. And I promise you all that I'm always praying for y'all. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna get off of here. True Siblings and State Gang, stand up. And until next time, we out. I love y'all.
expectation.